Hello all, it's your girl Tiffany, Madam Luscious Black Beauty. You're a poetic psychic Pisces, High Priestess. I am here tonight for another one of my missing mysteries. As always, I do hope each and every one of you are doing well and you're feeling well on tonight. Um, I thank you for tuning in, for visiting the channel, for listening, and for watching. And I am lighting my sage right now, so we're just going to clear out any negative energies, and we're going to get right into this reading. However, I will tell you that tonight's reading is in regards to Crystal Rogers. Okay, so give me just a moment, guys. We're going to clear out any negative energy that is in my presence, it's in my surroundings. Okay, we're going to purify this reading and we are going to jump into it. Okay, I just want to make sure that I block, stop, reverse any evil, negative, demonic, wicked entities, deities, people, places, or things that may be trying to interfere with my work, with this reading, or the accurate messages getting out. Okay, so give me just a second, guys, and we're gonna jump right into this thing. Okay. Okay, you all. So, like I said, tonight's reading is going to be for Crystal Rogers. Crystal has been missing since July the 3rd of 2015. So, July 3rd, 2015. Okay. And I'm going to show you all an image of her. This is, no, let me get this to clear up for you all. This is Crystal Rogers, guys, okay? So, like I said, she's been missing since July 3rd, 2015. She is from a place that's called, I think it's Bardstown, Kentucky, okay? I always like to try to give you all an image of what the missing person looks like at the time of their disappearance. Okay, so this reading is going to be for her. This is, I mean, ooh, child, y'all. There's some deep things involved with this reading. Okay, like all I can do is report what my spirit guides tell me, what my spirit guides show me in reference to what's going on with each of these victims. And, you know, every situation is different from one to another. So I just kind of never know what I'm going to get. A lot of times, like from the moment that I go onto the site and, you know, I choose certain individuals that I do readings for, the ones who are drawn to me. So basically, let me change that. I don't necessarily choose and say, okay, tonight I'm going to do you or whatever. I'm led by spirit, so whatever individual that I'm drawn to, their energy, I'll look over it, you know, and a lot of times when I'm first looking for missing people, I try to do as many people who is missing recently because, you know, the odds are better of finding them and things like that. Those who have been missing longer, you can, you know, more often than not, something horrific has happened to them. So, you know, this becomes like a, you know, recovery effort of their remains or something like that. However, I looked over quite a few when I began my work on tonight. Well, last night actually. It's in the wee hours of the morning now. So I had some other things to take care of, but I went ahead and did the reading, laid the spread and everything, took care of what I need to take care of, and then I was going to come back to it because I went back and forth because the information pertaining to this case is like so deep, y'all. Like, ugh, child. I didn't know if I should put this one out or not. And so by the time I got through taking my bath, honey, and relaxing my energy and everything, I was just led to come back. And so I'm going to do this. So, hey, don't shoot the messenger, child. I'm led by spirit. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. This is a part of my purpose. So I'm going to go ahead with it. Like I said, tonight's reading is for Crystal Rogers. She is from a place called Bardstown, Kentucky. Okay, she's been missing since July 3rd of 2015. She has blonde hair, blue eyes. Her height is 5'9" tall, so she was a pretty tall woman. She weighed about 155 pounds at the time of her disappearance. She is female and she is white and or Caucasian, whichever you prefer. Rogers has tattoos on the center of her back, her lower back, her ankle, and her left foot. Pertaining to the details of the situation is as follows. On July 5th of 2015, Crystal Rogers was reported missing by her mother after she had not been seen or heard from since the evening of July 3rd, 2015. The same day Rogers was reported missing, her car was found abandoned with a flat tire at mile marker 14 on the Bluegrass Parkway in Bardstown, Kentucky. Rogers' keys, phone, and purse were still inside her red Chevrolet Impala. Rogers is the mother of 5 children, and she is not known to go anywhere without her children. Also pertaining to this case, on November 19th of 2006, on November the 19th of 2016, okay, Crystal Rogers' father, Tommy Ballard, was shot and killed on the family's property near Bluegrass Parkway in Bardstown, Kentucky. Okay? And this is also a case here, but let me get this close enough for y'all to see it, guys. This is Crystal Rogers' father. Okay? So Crystal went missing in 2015. And her father was killed the previous year in 2016. Okay? So, I'm going to tell you all, first off, I really, I saw this case before I did the spirit reading, before I laid a spread or anything. I've told you all, several times before, I am highly intuitive. And naturally empathic, and certain things I can just pick up by reading over the case, looking at the victim, and I already know. Okay, so I'm going to tell you all about some red flags for me pertaining to this case. Now, Crystal Rogers was said not to go anywhere, besides, if she was working or anything like that. She was known, she has 5 children, okay, and she is not known to go anywhere without her children, okay? Red flag number 1. She went somewhere, she did something out of the ordinary, which was to go out late evening or night time by herself. Now, this is a woman who is married with 5 children. You understand what I'm saying? She left home, she went out late by herself. Red flag number 1. So first of all, I'm thinking, okay, anybody can get a flat tire at any time. Her vehicle was found on the Bluegrass Parkway in Bardstown, Kentucky. Okay, so at the mile marker 14. So I'm like, okay, anybody can get a flat tire. So red flag number 2 for me, I'm like, most people have a spare tire in their vehicle. Okay, if considering the fact that she was by herself, she should have had a spare tire in her vehicle and a jack to be able to change a tire herself. I can do so myself. Surely, she would have been able to change her flat if she, had one. If she, but it is possible that she did not know how to change a tire. It is possible that she did not have a spare tire. It is also possible that she may not have had a jack. But what we do know is that her keys, her phone, and her purse was found in the vehicle. This means that the moment that tragedy had struck for her, whether she was not able to change the tire herself, whether she did not have a spare tire, or whether she did not have a jack, she had a phone. She could have called her husband to say, hey, I'm here, come and help me. She could have called a tow truck. She could have called for roadside assistance. She had a phone. She could have called for help and or assistance. Number one. Okay, if she did not have any of those things, and say somebody pulled over and say, hey, you need, see a woman in distress, hey, do you need some help or something like that? Okay, say she didn't have a jack, and the person that pulled over to help her probably would have had a jack, especially a guy. Could have hiked up the car for her, changed the tire, no problem. Say she didn't have a spare tire. Okay, this person say, hey, I can take you to the store, to get the tire. Well, that would be cool if you would say, hey, she hopped in the vehicle with a stranger and she went to go take off to get a spare tire from somewhere. That doesn't make sense. Why? Because her purse was left in the car. If you were going to hop in the vehicle for somebody that was going to help you to take you to the store to get something that you needed for the vehicle, you would have took your purse and your phone. Okay, so we're going to go back to the red flag number one. Considering the fact that it was out of the ordinary for her to leave such late evening or by herself and without her children, this lets me know that she was lured away from home. She literally left home to meet someone for something, and that she needed to go alone to do this. She didn't need her children with her or whatever. Whatever this matter was, it was important. She needed to come alone. Thus, she went. Because of the situation with the tire, I felt immediately that her tire was tampered with before she left home. By the time she drove a distance and got to the point where she had to stop because the tire was bad, lets me know that the tire was punctured or something on purpose to cause her to stop at some point, which means if somebody pulled up immediately, I feel like the person that she was supposed to be meeting with or something is the individual that pulled up. Or if not, somebody that had punctured the tire was following her from the moment that she left the house, which also means that she should have calls or text something on her phone to say that she received a call or a text or something from someone which led her out the house when she did. She was going to meet someone. I felt that immediately. I felt like her tire was tampered with on purpose before she left home, which would have caused her to be in distress once she got not far from her or after a certain period of time, which caused her to pull over. At the moment that and so I also felt like either the person that she was meeting pulled up on her and they are the one who immediately attacked her, or the person who lured her out of the house or was watching her from the time that she left home, following her, and as soon as she got to the point where the tire was down, she had to pull over. They pulled up beside her, behind her, or whatever, and did whatever they had to do to subdue her. And maybe when she had to pull over, she proceeded to try to change her tire. Somebody else pulled up, came up behind her, caught her off guard, grabbed her, took off with her. Okay, these are things that I was feeling like automatically. I also felt very strongly, especially after I seen that just a year later or by the next year, her dad had been killed. I felt immediately, I said, she had a government job. She worked some type of I felt like she either worked for the government, she worked around government officials, she did some type of work. I said immediately, she found out something, she had information about something, and she was possibly meeting up with somebody about further information or something. I said this immediately. I said, I believe she is either a reporter or a journalist or something like that. I felt this immediately. Y'all, this was before I did the spirit ring. I swear to God on my life, what I'm telling you is the absolute truth. This is what I felt just from reading the situation and looking at her. Um, and I said this was a government hit. I said not only did she work with government officials, she worked for the government, or either she was a reporter or a journalist or something, but she got a hold to some type of information about something I felt like that had to do with the government that they did not want to get out. And she was set up. This was a set up. I said this, I felt this from the very beginning, y'all. And I knew from there. I was like, it was a hit. It was a hit. Even when it comes to the father, it was a hit. I'm like, whatever information she had was obviously very serious, but they did not want it to get out. So then I proceeded to do the spirit reading, y'all, and I kid you not, what I said from the very get-go, um, it's all in this reading, y'all. And I literally have no reason to lie to you all. Like, when it comes to doing this type of work or whatever, I don't come on here and be like I have anything in particular against anybody. Whatever information I get is what I tell you. It's not about whether I like these individuals or not. That has absolutely nothing to do with it. I'm able to just excommunicate my feeling, getting the information. I can set aside my feelings, how I feel about this person, that person. Now, once I have the information, I can tell you how I feel about it. Oh, this was total crap. Oh, this was right. This was wrong. This, that, and the other about how I feel about it. But my feelings are set from to the side from the moment I'm trying to figure out what happened. It doesn't matter what I feel. It doesn't matter, not on that level to be like, oh, I don't like this set of people. They had to be involved, or I don't like, it's not like that. It's whatever information I get, so basically I have nothing in particular, no in particular problem, not really, with most people. I just know most people that are a part of certain things are just linked to things that's very wicked, if you will. And it is what it is, but, and I let that be known. I don't sugarcoat shit. I don't bite my tongue. I don't beat around the bush or nothing like that. Excuse my language for anybody who felt offended by that. But I'm just really being honest with you all. So those were the red flags for me. That's what I felt from the very moment of looking at her and looking over this case. It's like she just started talking to me immediately. And I'm like, this is what happened. So, anyway, guys, I'm going to get into the spirit reading to give you all the exact details of this, okay? So, first of all, my spirit guides tell me that Crystal Rogers is no longer in Kentucky, okay? My spirit guides also let me know that Crystal Rogers is no longer alive. She has deceased. She has passed away. She's no longer here on earth with us, okay? Well, not living, at least, okay? My spirit guides do let me know that, of course, Crystal Rogers was abducted from the spot where her vehicle was found. Also, my spirit guides tell me that Crystal was taken to New York City, okay? So she was trafficked to New York City. My spirit guides tell me that during the time during the time after Crystal was abducted, she was sexually assaulted. Crystal was also tortured very severely to death before she died, okay? But however, it was not the sexual assault nor the torture that killed her. My spirit guides tell me that she was ultimately drowned to death, and this is how she died. But she was tortured, which clearly lets you know government, people in power, high up in power, is behind torture, okay? of an individual. My spirit guides tell me that Crystal was taken to New York City and disposed of. Um, there was things that was done to her between the time of her being abducted in Kentucky until they got to New York City. Then there were certain things that was done to her once she got to New York City, and ultimately when she passed away, she was in New York City, and that's where her body was disposed of, in New York City. My spirit guides tell me that Crystal was taken. Oh, okay, I already told you all that. My spirit guides let me know that a hitman was hired to kill Crystal Rogers. This was a professional hitman that was hired to kill Crystal Rogers. The only people that can get a professional hitman. Anybody could run across some fool and give him a couple $100 or a couple $1,000, depend on who you dealing with, to do something or whatever. But when we talk professional hitmen, nobody has access to professional hitmen except for those of them high up in power, and trust and believe they ain't working for chump change. Okay. um so this was a government hit, guys. um and this hitman was hired by individuals high up in power. My spirit guides do tell me that Crystal Rogers was a target. Crystal Rogers was purposely lured away from her home alone on the night that, or the evening that she left home, without her family. She specifically left alone. Like I said, she was leaving to meet with someone to discuss with them or to get further information about what she knew, what she had found out, what was happening. Okay, my spirit guides tell me that Crystal's tire was purposely tampered with, which is what caused her to have the flat tire. Okay, when she had to pull over on the side of the road, the tire was tampered with prior to her leaving, and she wasn't aware of it. My spirit guides also tell me that the reason that Crystal left alone was for a meetup, or a possible info exchange with someone, whether this was somebody giving her further information, or at this point, Crystal knew some information that was like very damning, very lucrative, and she was about to whistleblow on what she knew. And what she knew was not, I accidentally found out, word of mouth from somebody else, gossip. What she knew, she had seen herself. Okay. um um so this was the reason that she left home alone. Okay, this was for a meetup with a certain individual. Okay, my spirit guides do tell me that Crystal Rogers was set up. um she was already a target prior to, but this entire everything that played out was set up. Okay, my spirit guides tell me that Crystal was she was some kind of researcher or a journalist, or something like that. And that was researching, or she had found out some information pertaining to the government or government officials, and was planning to tell or whistleblow about the situation, about what she knew, about what she's seen. My spirit guides also tell me that the abduction of Crystal was to stop her from going public about the information that she knew and that she had found out. Okay. Um, my spirit guides also tell me that Crystal Rogers told her dad about what she had seen, about what she had found out, about what she knew. Okay. And this is the reason why that her father was later killed. Like, he was killed that next year. This is the reason why her father was killed, and they killed him to keep him from speaking out about what he knew after the abduction of his daughter. Okay, so his murder was also a hit. Okay, that was planned, plotted, and orchestrated, organized by higher powers that be. Um, My spirit guides tell me that Crystal's research was about her local government in Kentucky, okay? Specifically about her local government in Kentucky. My spirit guides tell me that Crystal Rogers had found out about and had info and evidence of sex crimes committed by government officials in Kentucky. This was the information that she had, the very pertinent information that she had. This is the reason why she was set up. This is the reason why she was targeted. This is the reason why she was abducted. And ultimately, this is the reason why she was killed. They did not want that evidence to get out. And like I said, this was not like somebody guesstimating or some, some, what do they call them? Conspiracy theorists or something. This woman had evidence. She's seen for herself. Okay? So my spirit guides tell me that Crystal found out that the mayor of Kentucky was linked to prostitution, sex rings, and had raped young girls and women. That was the information that she had. That was the information that got her set up and killed. My spirit guides also tell me that Crystal Rogers actually seen the mayor sexually assaulting a young girl. My spirit guides tell me that Crystal Rogers seen the mayor with an underage with underage girls. Also, my spirit guides tell me that Crystal Rogers worked in the governor's office, so she was a like a reporter or a journalist or a researcher or something inside the mayor's office. And this is the reason why she had such close contact, works in such close proximity of them. Okay, but she was like, my spirit guides tell me that she was like a researcher or like a journalist or report, something like that. But she worked for government, specifically out of the mayor's office. My spirit guides do tell me also that Crystal Rogers witnessed the governor of Kentucky sexually assault young girls, and this was at some type of my spirit guides say convention or event. It was some type of scheduled convention that they were at, or some type of speaking engagement or event or something like that, because I specifically wanted to know, like, were women and girls coming to his office? She seen that it's in his office, and my spirit guides was like, no, it's a convention, it's an event. So it was some type of event where I believe the mayor had some type of speaking engagement, or just had to be there for, or something like that. And this reporter, this journalist that worked hand in hand with them, I suppose, had to travel around with them or go with them, wherever they went to, for whatever that she normally worked on and did, okay? But this happened, she seen this at some type of convention or event is where she witnessed the governor of Kentucky sexually assaulting this young girl, or young girls, okay, is how it came across to me. My spirit guides tell me that the governor actually, the night that this took place, my spirit guides tell me that the governor actually seen Crystal, see him, basically, if that makes sense. So the governor seen Crystal Rogers watching him when she realized what he had done and what he was doing, okay? So from there, like, it was on, okay? My spirit guides tell me that Crystal Rogers began to be targeted after she seen and or witnessed the sexual assault happen with the young girls. My spirit guides also told me that Crystal Rogers quit her job after she seen the sexual assault of the young girls and what happened, okay? Now, after Crystal Rogers quit her job, this is when the hit was put out on her to kill her, because she had seen too much. She knew too much. And it rattled her and disgusted her enough for her to quit her job cold turkey. Now, because of the fact of what she's seen, they had already targeted her. So they started using, their resources of illegal technologies and different things to surveillance her, to watch her, to stalk her, to harass her, to threaten her, like how they do all of us targeted individuals. This is why I tell you, no matter who they get around you, close to you, to isolate you or work against you or what have you, this is a government funded operation. So if you become a target, you can bet your life upon it that it is your government that is doing it. And they're funding the entire operation. Okay? Don't get that fact twisted. Okay? So my spirit guides tell me that, from the very moment, when the mayor realized that she had seen him, he had his team to target her, and they do a combination of, their witchcraft, black magics, voodoo, sorcery, garbage, mixed with illegal forms of technology like remote neuromonitoring, and different forms of and tactics that they use to electronically stalk and harass you. And this is what they began to do to her. I believe once, the targeting and the attacks was so bad, this is when Crystal was like, you know what, forget this, I'm quitting. She quit her job, and this is when, and they didn't have any idea what she was going to do next. So this is when the hit was put out on her. Okay? So, like I said, Crystal quit her job after, she seen the sexual assault that happened and the things that were going on and being done. And this is when she also found out other information, about other sexual escapades, the sex rings, the this, that, and the other. And she wanted to get the hell up out of there as fast as she possibly could. So my spirit guides then told me that Crystal Rogers' dad knew his daughter was a target, and a hit had been put out on her. Okay, she obviously communicated with her dad a lot. She had a good relationship with the dad, but Crystal's dad knew what was going on, knew what she had seen, knew what she had found out. She discussed this with her dad. Her dad also knew that she was a target. She was being, stalked and harassed and threatened and everything, as well as they knew when the hit had been put out on her as well. And so not long after that is when the entire event happened, when Crystal came up missing. Okay. So my spirit guides also tell me that Crystal Rogers' other family, they know exactly what happened to her and why. So the family is aware that Crystal was being targeted. They are aware that a government hit was put out on her as well. My spirit guides do tell me that the girl that Crystal Rogers seen the mayor with on the night of the convention or the event, this girl was 14 years old. My spirit guides also tell me, and I really kind of thought, was this a teenager of another politician or something like that? But my spirit guides tell me that the 14-year-old girl that Crystal Rogers seen the mayor with was a sex trafficking victim that had been kidnapped from elsewhere. So, who knows how long they had her. Obviously, and my spirit guides let me know that this girl was a sex trafficking victim, thus means that she is a missing person from somewhere. Okay, she was 14 at the time. This occurred in, let's see, Crystal Rogers went missing in 2015. So we're not sure how long before she witnessed this, because it was some time that went by from when she witnessed this, her other research and other information and stuff that she found, to her being targeted, to her being set up, to her finally being abducted and all this stuff or whatever. So a little bit of time had went by or whatever. But my spirit guides lead me to believe that whoever this sex trafficking victim was, she was 14 at the time, but I feel like they had her for a while, because I know that they had her for a while. Possibly she was abducted when she was like a kid. Like she probably was around, 6, 7, 8 years old when they took her, is what my spirit guides are telling me. And I know they had her for a while because they have to have time to train them, to program them, to put them under mind control, to get them in the sex programming mind frame, to the point, because once they start being like what one would call a presidential model, they have had training. They are under mind control. They have been already abused several times before by others and everything, before they get to show up to like events and different things, and just sitting in wait backstage for whoever wants them, type of thing. You understand? So the girl was 14 at the time, and my spirit guides tell me that she's a sex trafficking victim. I feel like they had her for a while, and my spirit guides is telling me between the ages of 6 and 8 years old was when she went missing from wherever she's from. I would have to do a more in-depth video to find out what her race was, where she possibly is from, and different things like that, to be able to narrow that information down about that young girl. So basically that was the information that Crystal witnessed. She had found out, and she did some further research and realized, what ties these people in power have to sex rings and prostitution rings and all other kind of things. And this is what got her targeted. This is what got her killed, because they did not want that information to come out. And they tried to scare her into submission by targeting her. But when she up and quit her job, they knew they had to do something quick, because, if she was willing to quit her job and no longer work for them, she just wanted to get the hell up out of there, okay, is what my spirit guides are telling me. She didn't want any part of what was happening, what was going on, or what was being done. So she was trying to get out of there fast, quick, in a hurry. And why would you want to continue working for somebody who is targeting you? You understand? Like, how could you go to work every day and see the person who you just seen do that? Okay? Okay, you guys. So I believe I'm gonna start with the murder mystery oracle cards and the hidden truth, and then we're gonna get into the extra messages here. Okay. So first off, here we have victim stalked by killer. So like I said, she was a target. She was being stalked, harassed. She was being watched for a while before the plan was put in motion to abduct her, to make the situation happen where she ended up being stranded and this person just came up and snatched her. She was being stalked for a while. Next, I have victim or victim's family was familiar with the killer. So whoever this abductor was, they used somebody who actually was familiar with the family. Now, you already know that Crystal worked for the government. I would not be surprised if there's other people in her family who probably, maybe did some type of work, or do some type of work with the government, whatever. Whoever this individual is not just some regular average Joe, living down the street or something. This would be somebody with connections or something like that or whatever. But this is basically saying that Crystal Rogers' family was familiar with the person who lured her away, who lured her away from home when they did for her to be abducted. Okay, so this clearly lets you know that there were several other people involved, which is what they do a lot of times when they're targeting somebody. They use several different people. It's like, okay, say you have a person that's a target. Well, we know that this person being targeted is being done by the government, but say the individual handlers that they have working for government recruits the person that's being targeted, say sister or mother or something, and they have that sister or mother call them up and say, hey, I need you to come somewhere, 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 and they leave the house and they go to somewhere, this person not knowing their tire has been tampered with, whatever, whatever, this plan has been put in motion. So somebody that she was familiar with, that she was going to meet with and talk to, that was familiar with her, that was familiar with her family, is who they recruited to lure her out. Okay. Next, I have lies, deception, and a potential cover up. So, of course, there's lies and deceptions all around what actually happened to Crystal Rogers, and it was most definitely a cover up because the powers that be is all over this thing. Okay, which is quite interesting. Obviously, this is the reason why she has been sitting, because her information is on the FBI's missing persons, their site, their database or whatever. And I'm pretty sure they know full well exactly what the hell happened to her. Okay, so next I have argument or fight is a strong factor. So she had some type of argument or fight with someone. Possibly she did meet with the person that she was supposed to been meeting up with that night, and there was some type of argument or fight or something that took place. Maybe somebody trying to convince her, hey, just let it go, forget about it, don't talk about it, don't tell anybody about it, this, that, and the other. And there was an argument that took place or whatever, but after it happened, after that argument, she disappeared. Okay, she was abducted. The next card I have here, it says multiple people were involved in the crime. Clearly, multiple people are involved in this. Why? She was a target. She was being stalked and harassed and followed and watched and illegally surveillanced and invaded and violated by several different people that had been recruited to do so. Also, there's several different individuals involved who were in power, who would have known that the hit was put out on her, who would have known that she seen something that, they didn't want. I guarantee you, this mayor of Kentucky told his team or whomever he works close with that, this person seeing this or whatever, now she's acting differently or whatever, what are we going to do? So this would bring more people in to, and have more people involved to try to cover this up. Okay, next I have research similar crimes in the area to see if they are linked. This just clearly lets you know that she isn't the only victim who probably was a target in that area, who went missing, maybe not the same exact way, but this just lets you know that there's other people in Kentucky, possibly in the area where Crystal Rogers is from, that this has happened to too. Obviously there probably are other cases from Kentucky where individuals have vanished and gone missing and have been abducted, and it was because they were set up. It was because they were a target. It was because, for whatever reason, it was set up to make them disappear, basically. Okay, when it comes to the hidden truth of the situation here, to clarify, victim stalked by killer, we have, I hope that you can forgive me one day. Bullcrap. Bullcrap. So basically, this stalker, this message is coming through pertaining to the individuals who was stalking her, who was watching her, or whatever. Considering the fact that she is no longer alive, I don't know if these these individuals are, have thought about this and trying to uh, regain themselves spiritually or something, and and they know she's dead, or and they know what they've done, but so spiritually, you know, because this is probably eat them up inside, that they set her up like this and this was done to her. So they're saying to themselves, oh hey, I hope you can forgive me one day or whatever, but I'm, to each his own. When you target somebody, you stalk and harass them to their death, abduct them, torture them, and kill them. Yeah, like, and now you hope that this person can forgive you one day, now that they're no longer alive. Like, be for real. So to clarify the card, victim or victim's family was familiar with the killer. We have the message, you came closer than anyone. So, like I said, whoever lured her away from the house that day that she was going to meet up with, that she had this argument with, that they were conversing about the information that she knew, this person was very close to her family. They knew each other very well, and this was somebody that the individuals in government was able to recruit to get close to her, to get her away and by herself. To clarify lies, deception, and a potential cover-up, we have sometimes I stay awake thinking about you. So like I said, the individuals involved in this, it's eating them up. You understand me? They probably are having sleepless nights. They know they set her up. They know they lured her out. They know she was abducted. They know that she was killed, and it's eating them up inside, okay? And they can't stop thinking about her. They can't stop thinking about, although they can't say anything or whatever, it's eating them up inside because they can't say anything. And you see what it says. Sometimes I stay awake thinking about you. Of course you do. It's called the dark night of the soul. Okay? So these demons are eating you up inside by how you set up this woman, about how you lured her out knowing full well that a plan was put in place to abduct her and to ultimately kill her. To clarify, argument or fight is a strong factor. This person that she met up with, she had an argument with, okay? And the message we have here is, I wish I had treated you better. So this same person that she had this argument with, which is the same person who lured her away from home because they were recruited by government individuals and probably paid to do so, that was also involved with stalking her and watching her and harassing her. Now they wish they had treated her better. Go to hell. Now that she's gone, you wish that you had treated her better. Why? Because it's eating you up inside. The little compensation that you got from the powers that be don't much matter now, because those demons are hunting you. To clarify, multiple people were involved in the crime. We have, I remember every detail of that day. So all the individuals involved in this, from the individuals who were targeting her, stalking and harassing her, to the to the individual who lured her away from home, to the individuals who abducted her, to the individuals who tortured her, to the individuals who murdered her, even all the way back before all of that occurred, to the individual that seen her, seeing them doing what they were doing. They remember every detail of that day. It's playing over and over and over again in their mind. So to clarify, research similar crimes in the area to see if they are linked. This clearly lets you know that this had been done to other people before, rather than being targeted, stalked, harassed, abducted, killed, or whatever. There's other crimes, other situations like this with abductions and missing persons in Kentucky that links back to the government, obviously. To clarify that, we have, I know that I crossed the line with you. Okay? So these individuals involved clearly know that they crossed the line. I feel like these are the same individuals that also partook in gang stalking of someone else and abducting someone else before they literally get paid to do this garbage. But yeah. Okay, so the first spirit message we have here is, of course, negative energy. Okay, this talks about abuse, bullying, antimatter, dark matter, darkness, anger, temper. There was negative energy all around this situation. Why? There's always going to be dark matter and negative energy around the situation when you are talking about the satanic powers that be. Next, of course, we have wickedness in high places, beast system 666. Okay? That's who's responsible for this going down. They did not want that information leaked out. Next, we have pure evil, demons, devil, death, spirits, wickedness. Okay? Pure evil all around this situation. And then, of course, we have sadness. This made Crystal Rogers, she was saddened by what she's seen. She was saddened that her life was being destroyed by her becoming a target. She was heartbroken by this. She was feeling down. She was depressed every single day. From the moment she seen this all the way up to, she was abducted and tortured to death. Next, we have the devil in disguise. This talks about individuals who are evil, individuals who are demonically possessed. It says shapeshifters, two-faced, a wicked, other alienistic type beings. Okay, but we're talking about the devils in disguise here. Okay, and then I have, last but not least, they're dangerous. Don't trust them. Get out. Run. Don't look back. Dangerous individuals within these powers that be. Okay? Okay, other spirit messages that we have to go along with this situation here. We have addictions. Okay, so this is clearly about these addictions of individuals who are high up in power, very prominent individuals who have these sex addictions, who has this toxicity about them, who have drug addictions, porn addictions, alcohol addictions, gambling addictions, especially emphasis on sex and drug addictions. A lot of times people think that because a person's dressed good and they look good and their hair slicked back just right and they got on a three-piece suit and shiny shoes and they can speak really articulate and everything and very proper and they got some degrees and there's some high power prominent position or role or something that somehow they must be divine and uprighteous and upstanding. But child, please, addictions. Okay, and this person's clear addiction and them being careless and reckless with their addictions is how Crystal was able to even see what was going on. This person obviously was so anxious to see this little 14-year-old girl and get their hands on him that it seems like to me it was out in the open, like backstage somewhere of the convention or some type of crap. Like you didn't even wait to have her delivered to your hotel room or nothing. This wasn't in a green room or nothing. This wasn't or maybe it was, but maybe the door was left wide the hell open, and maybe everybody back there all know this type of thing goes on anyway. Obviously, except for Crystal, because Crystal was freaking appalled by from the moment that she even seen it. Next, we have a dark energy card here that says kidnapper, abductor. Obviously, she was abducted. She was lured away from home by herself, and she was abducted. Next, we have ridicule and judgment. So this is when they began to target her. They ridiculed her heavily. They judged her heavily while targeting her. And they did this in an effort to keep her silent about what she's seen, about what she knew. So there was a lot of ridicule and a lot of judgment, which is ultimately probably why she just up and quit her freaking job. Like, she just couldn't deal with it anymore. It saddened her. She was having bad days every day. She literally had no motivation to go to work and do her job anymore. And, it was just horrible. Next, we have sick Satanists. So more often than not, the people, these powers that be, well, we clearly know that they are Satanists and they worship, the devil, Lucifer, Satan, however you would like to see it. But a lot of sick things go on behind the scenes amongst very rich, wealthy, prominent people in power. And just so happened, Crystal ended up seeing this. And it's what ultimately got her killed. Next, we have here human trafficking. Well, I already told you that when she was abducted in Kentucky, she was human. She was trafficked from Kentucky to New York City. And here we have hired hitman. So, like I said, this was a professional hired hitman that was sent out to who was hired to abduct her and to deliver her to a certain area for whatever else they wanted to do to her, and to ultimately kill her. And all of this was because of what she knew, what she seen, what she had found out. And really and truly to keep her quiet about it. That was the main thing. They wanted her to stay silent about it. And, it was taunting and taunting her. She couldn't work, regularly. It was eating her up inside, and then, because of what she's seeing, they started targeting her, which will make life harder for you anyway. You know what I'm saying? And so she's just like, you know what? I'm going to quit my job. But I think when she did that, because of the simple fact they didn't know what she was going to do next, who she was going to tell, whatever, considering the fact she was already like a researcher or journalist or whatever, and what she's seen, also what she knew and what else she had been researched and looked up into and things like that or whatever, they had no idea what was going to be next. Would she go to the news media? Would she go to, whoever? And so they wanted to prevent that. So when they could no longer target her on the job, they did so outside the job. They were tracking her, tracing her, they were hacking her. I believe they even had taps on her phones, trackers on her vehicle. They was watching, they were surveillancing her every move, trying to figure out who she was talking to, who she was telling this information to, if anyone or whatever. And, they continuously did this while she was still there. And then, like, when she quit, they was just like, they wanted to take her out. Okay, guys. So, let me go through these messages really quick with you all, okay? So, this says here, don't allow others' opinions to lower your self-esteem. And I feel like this is what they tried to do. So, after Crystal seen what she, had witnessed, and she began to research and gather other information, and this is how she found out about the sex trafficking, the prostitution rings, the sex rings and things, and all the other things that she found out about, and they began to target her. There was like probably this smear campaign that began to go on. They target you in many different ways to try to discredit you in some type of way. And so I feel like this message is coming through for her. Like they try to, like the card that came up, ridicule and judge her, judge her, try to shame her, blame her, put her down, find some type of fault in her. Now, this is a person who just seen, witnessed what she witnessed and got the information that she got. And so then they try to flip it on her and lower her self-esteem, make her feel bad about herself. And see, a lot of times what people don't know is when they target people on different levels, but they really want to push you over the edge till you kill yourself. And that's like a big red flag. So when you see people who like worked for government or something like that, and or worked with individuals very prominent and high up in power, and all of a sudden they kill themselves. They were either suicided, or if they did kill themselves, it's because they were a target and they were literally pushed to killing themselves, and they were liable to be triggered to do so or whatever, because that's an aspect of the targeting that they use. They want you so stressed, so depressed, so overwhelmed. They're doing everything in their power to sabotage and ruin your life while targeting you, invading your privacy and everything. They just want you to get to the point where you feel like you have no hope and just kill yourself. Why? Because if you're dead, the problem that existed is dead. You understand? So, and they really would rather you kill yourself. Why? Because for one, quite frankly, it takes more time, more money, and more effort that they have to put forth to hire a hitman to come and take you out, and then covering it up, and then having to recruit your family, your friends, or others around you that can get close to you to bamboozle you, to for whatever. But this is what they do when they target people. Next message I have here is danger ahead. Proceed with caution, goblins watching. So from the moment, Spirit is coming through and saying from the moment that, she knew what she knew pertaining to the situation, and even other information that she found out even after witnessing with her own eyes what she's seen, from the very moment after that, she was in danger, okay? She was surrounded by a bunch of people who was obviously more wealthy than she was, who were high up in power and would do anything to keep their dirty little secrets secret, frankly. And, there was this sense of her having to proceed with caution because they are the goblins and they're the ones that were watching. Okay? And so, like I said, I told you she was a target. Look at the message that came up. Gang stalker, mobbing, okay? This talks about illegal technology, different forms of harassment being used, voice to skull technology, electromagnetic frequencies and pulses, remote neuromonitoring, neurologistic programming. That's just to name a few things that they use. They use something called Medusa as well. They use all different type of electronic torture tactics. These DEW weapons, which stands for directed energy weapons, to target and attack people as well. And that's what she was going through as well. Also played a factor in her deciding to go ahead and quit her job. Next here, I have no good in the hood. So this just lets me know that there were people in her neighborhood even that had been recruited to watching her, to stalking her, to harassing her, to the point where it felt like everybody around her, they had used to turn against her because of what she knew. And this is basically a tactic that they use to try to keep you from speaking. This whole setup to shut you up type of thing is goes on, all while they're trying to persuade you to just kill yourself. Just take yourself out. Yeah, the devil is a lie, honey. I wouldn't give him the satisfaction, child, please. Next here we have someone put a spell on you. So, like I said, when they target you, these people are deep into the occult, okay? They know all about black magic, voodoo, sorcery, putting hexes, curses, and spells on people and things like that. And that's just what this cards say. Witchcraft, voodoo, hoodoo, black magic. They use this on her as well to attack her. And then last but not least, here we have they're spying on you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Beware. And this just clearly triple clarify once again that she was a target and they were literally watching her around the clock. They wanted to make sure that she spoke to no one about what she knew, which is ultimate. And she ended up telling her dad. You understand? And the dad probably ended up telling the mom and so on and so forth. But this is the reason why they took the dad out too. The rest of the family, first of all, it would have been very suspicious for them to come through and just knock off the entire family. So 9 times out of 10, they were probably, the rest of the family was too scared to either say anything or do anything about it. But my spirit guides tell me that they were aware of they were aware of the fact that she was a target. They was aware of the fact that, a hit had been put out on her, and they were obviously able to persuade the rest of the family to kind of go along with the program type thing of what they were doing to her, if they didn't want their life to be in jeopardy. I find it very interesting that the father, the father was killed, just 1 year later after and I don't even think it was a full year, actually. It may have been, but, yeah, it probably was a little over a year, but he died that next year. But that was a murder, okay? That was a hit as well. And I told you, she had told her father what she knew, what she had seen, other information that she found out, and everything. And this is how the rest of the family even knows what was happening in the first place, okay? And so thus is why they put the hit out on him too, to keep him from speaking. He probably ended up being very vocal, or trying to be very vocal about his daughter's disappearance. And, because of the fact that they were listening to her, they was watching her, they was tapping her and everything, they probably overheard the conversation that she had with her father, and so they took him out too. Here we have, you can't trust nobody. Okay, you can't trust anybody, especially when you're dealing with these higher ups. Okay, next we have backstabbers. This clearly lets me know that there was people that she trusted, people that she thought was friends, who were recruited into this, who were dragged into this, and to save their own ass and to keep the same thing from happening to them, they stabbed her in the back and they worked against her. And just like the Hidden Truth Oracle, a lot of those people are suffering right now. Demons are attacking them on the daily, because they are being plagued with emotions, overwhelming emotions and feelings and thoughts as to the role that they played in this. Okay. Next here, I have someone is plotting against you. Okay, clearly. Okay, she was a target. She ended up being targeted by what she knew, what she seen, and everything. And they were plotting against her during that time, when she quit her job, thereafter, all the way up leading to her abduction and them killing her. Next here we have phony friends. So clearly, this is spirit coming through, letting you all know that the friends that she thought were friends that she had around her obviously wasn't friends. They were foes, because they rolled over fast, quick, in a hurry, and which a lot of people do. Why? Because most people are afraid of the big bad wolves, which is the government, the powers that be, or whatever. And so that they're often able to recruit them, and they often go along with whatever plot, plan, or scheme has been set forth to take a person out. Okay, so she had phony friends around her. She couldn't even trust these people, which would clearly describes the first message that we got. You can't trust anybody. Okay, guys. So next we have the struggle is real. The struggle was very real for her. Like I said, this saddened her a lot. This weighed her down emotionally. She really felt some type of way about what she seen, what she knew, and I mean the struggle was even more severe for her thereafter, because she immediately began being attacked, and to the likes of which that a lot of people have never seen or heard of before. And then last but not least, of course, there was a team of individuals who came together to work against her. So there was a lot of people who were the closest to her, people that she thought were friends, people that, she probably before this was a very good worker, hard worker. Um, People that smiled up in her face every single day, like turned on her in an instant just because she found out some information and they wanted to keep her from releasing that information that in which she knew. Very crazy. Okay, guys. So the Earthcraft card we have here is transform with Raven here. Okay. And this card talks about Raven is a symbol of transcendence, okay? And a need for a new perspective, intelligent and able to quickly adapt to changing circumstances. These sleek black birds see potential where others may see only uselessness. If you are in the need of resources and are unable to see how you can make a situation or project work, Raven is here to tell you that you have more available to you than you know. To channel Raven is to welcome inventiveness and resourcefulness. Raven thinks outside the box, asking, where can I shift my consciousness to help me solve this problem? This is what Crystal was trying to do. Okay? She was trying to figure out what it was she could do um, to help to solve this problem with the information that she knew, with what she's seen, and that was something, matter of factly, they did not want her to do. Okay. um and so, like I said, Raven thinks outside of the box, asking, where can I shift my consciousness to help me solve this problem? Instead of going through, is it possible to go around, below, or above this challenge? Is there something I already have that can be reinvented and used for a different purpose to help now? Okay, so I feel like this just came through for Crystal Rogers because, this was really bothering her. This did not sit right with her. She was going to do something, she was going to say something. And she was trying to figure out what it was that she could do, or exactly, um, to solve this problem, because I believe not only did Crystal see what she saw on that day, she continued to do research and gather other information and different things pertaining to this situation. um, but she also knew that the girl that she had seen was someone who was a missing person, was someone who was a sex trafficking victim. This is how she came across the information of about the sex rings and the prostitution rings and things like that, or whatever. So it was really more than just what she's seen. You understand what I'm saying? Because if it was just about what she's seen, probably they would have, maybe slipped some kind of drug in her drink or something at work, or, grabbed her and, jabbed her with a needle, accidentally bumped into her with a needle or something that would have altered her state of mind and made her completely forget about what she had seen. But this was about more than what she had seen. You don't forget the fact that Crystal was a researcher. She was a journalist. She was almost like an investigator, if you will, with journalism and researching things. So she dove deeper into what she had seen and how far does this go and what else don't I know, type of thing. And, she came into even more information that she probably could bargain for. And so, and in the midst of this, she's thinking to herself, trying to figure out, people need to know this. What can I do to help, or, this, that, and the other. And it ultimately ended up getting her killed, unfortunately. Okay, the angel message I have here is look for a sign. I believe that there was a lot of signs and symbolisms around this situation. What happened, as far as the situation, as to everything that went on, around her job, around information that she knew. There are signs and symbolisms and things still around. I feel like Crystal, um, possibly hid something, put up something. There is something, somewhere, of some type of evidence of some kind that she hid, that she put up, that there's something. And the angels are saying that, um, if one looks for a sign, that they can find clues to, how or where her body was disposed. Also, individuals looking to solve this case, although this is a case that will be really hard, because considering the fact that there is so much involvement with the powers that be, I feel like even those high ranking, FBI or what would cover this up. Like, it would not be leaked, it would not be pursued or anything. Um, yeah, and that's so sad. That's so sad, because that's what they do. They clean up and cover up the mess of the elites and these powers that be, like, all the time, and that's just the way it is. So, here we have persecution and, inquisition. This is what Crystal was going through. She was being persecuted by what she seen, what she knew, the information she had found. And this persecution came through her being targeted, her being stalked, harassed, illegally invaded, and violated, and uh, pressured and tortured on the daily with what was being done to her. Next, here we have stargazing. This is a, fairies, card. It says, when you gaze at the stars, you give yourself fairy focus. Your intuition will flow more freely and reveal what you need to know about the situation. I believe this is, this lady here she's like standing outside in the dark. She's looking up at the skies. I feel like Crystal was doing this after seeing what she's seen, after doing her studying, after doing her research, and after finding other information. She was left with the feeling of, how can I fix this situation? What can I do? Who could I tell? What next type of thing. And this was probably in the midst of all while they were watching her and things or whatever. And you see how she's just staring into the stars and things like that or whatever. This other information had come to her that she had found out. It was flowing to her freely or whatever. And she was so overwhelmed by it. And, she was trying to figure out what she needed to know or what she needed to do about this situation, or what could she do about this situation, but it ended up being too late. Next we have the King of Michael. This is, principled, rational, ambitious, respected. Okay, so Crystal was a very principled person. Okay, she was a very rational but ambitious person, and she was respected. Okay, clearly. This says wisdom and objectivity are important now. Stay in your integrity, a situation that calls for honest and open communication. And so this is what she was doing. At least this is what she was trying to do, but she was under attack. From the very moment that this individual knew that she had seen them. She was under attack. So it wasn't like she seen, what went on, and she went to this person, oh, you low down dirty scum, or I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. No, she didn't. She stayed rational. She stayed principled. She stayed, she kept the demeanor that she always did to a certain degree, although it was eating her up inside, although she continued to do further research and investigation and things into the matter. She kept her wits and her wisdom about her. And she was really trying to figure out how she can use honest and open communication to figure out what it was that she could do, what she could say or she could do, and to the right people, to get this information out. And frankly, at this point, it really didn't matter how principled she was, how respected she was, how rational she was, how wise she was. They did not want that information out, and they was willing to do whatever to stop her at all costs. Okay? So last but not least, here we have Lioness. Okay? And this says you've earned all your stripes. Okay, so this is a woman who was hardworking. Okay, somebody who, you know, worked their way to the position that they were in. They earned all their stripes. You know, this was a she was actually a good person. She was a good individual. She came across, you know, information. I just, when I look at this card, I feel like this is her laying by the beach, you know, the sunset in the background or whatever. Her soul is at rest right now. Her angels are around her. Excuse me, I believe she has made it to the light. She has crossed over. You know, and so her soul is at peace. Now, but it's very sad that she had to go out the way she did. But I feel like she earned all of her stripes or whatever. And, you know, even though it was horrific, that things happened this way, you know, who knows? It's hard to say. It's really, I feel like kind of shameful and bad to even say when you say, oh, maybe it was that person's time to go. Especially, you know, if they died of natural causes, okay, sure. You know, but when a person is like stalked and harassed to death, tortured to death, and, you know, all other kinds of things just because you feel some type of way about them, you have this done to them. I can't say that it was time for that lady to go. She had 5 children, for God's sake. How in the hell could it be time for her time to go? But, you know, oftentimes people will say things like that or whatever, just speaking of life and death type situations. But, you know, I feel like she was a good woman. You know, she was a hardworking woman. She earned everything that she had, and that she worked for, and that she, you know, strived for, and things like that. And this was just a very unfortunate situation for her. And it ended tragically. It really did. It ended tragically. I want to ask one more question because that concludes the reading, guys. But I really want to know something else really quick that I forgot to ask. So if you give me just a minute to contact my spirit guides, I want to know something because I actually did ask. And I didn't get a clear answer, and other information was, excuse me, flowing in so fast that I just bypassed it and I didn't go back to it. But I need to know something because out of all of this, it was not definitely, everything came through definitely and matter of factly in this reading for me. But I could not get a clear message for a while as to how she was disposed of. So give me just a minute, guys. Oh, this is why I could not get a clear answer, guys. Oh my God. Oh, y'all, I asked for the longest. I asked my spirit guys. I got everything else like so fluently. Just bam, 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 bam. All the information. But when I got to how she was disposed of, I asked like, was she buried? I gotta know. I'm like, was she thrown in the river? I gotta know. I'm like, you know, was she just thrown in a garbage. I gotta know. Like any kind of way that a person could be disposed of, I gotta know. So other information was coming in so fast, like I was just like really, like yo, I was just like writing things down, like back to back to back to back, like back. But when it got to how she was disposed of, it was a blank. And I thought about it and then I let it go and I'm like, no. Oh, y'all. I just asked my spirit guides. Her body will never be found. Crystal Rogers was consumed, y'all. This means she was eaten. So, after she was abducted from Kentucky. She was trafficked to New York City. She was sexually assaulted. She was beat. She was raped. She was tortured in all kinds of ways. What ultimately killed her was her being drowned to death. They did the torture thing just because of the simple fact that what she knew and different things. Well, they did all of it because of what she knew and her efforts to prepare to speak out about it, guys. This is why I could not get a clear answer of how they disposed of her. She was eaten by cannibals who are high up in power and in government. I am done. I'm done. Guys, I thank each and every last one of you for listening, for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you all would like me to look into to either speak about a certain topic and do a reading, or if you would like me to do a missing mystery, or you have a murder mystery that you would like me to look into and do a reading, please feel free to contact me in the comment section, or you can email me at tiffanyziegler60@gmail.com. If you would like to donate to the channel, it would be greatly appreciated. I thank you very much with every fiber of my being. You can do so through Cash App. It is $TiffDiamond36. As I always tell you all, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, but most of all, take care of your babies. Y'all need to watch your surroundings, watch the company you keep. Look, in this day and time, you can't trust nobody no further than you can throw them, okay? You may think you know somebody, you may think you love somebody, you may think they love you, but you never can be too sure. But one thing that is for sure, anytime something in life comes down between you and somebody else, they will knock you off before themselves, okay? So, look, evil and wickedness lurks around every corner, okay? And none of us knows what day will be our last, okay? So y'all need to stay vigilant. You need to stay awake. You need to stay aware. And you need to be prepared. Because if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready, okay? Y'all, what a world. What a world. Oh, this is a wicked, wicked world that we live in, y'all. Y'all have no idea. Like, for real. I wish each and every last one of you peace, love, and light. Until the next time, namaste.